Hello, everyone. Welcome to another podcast. My name is Ben Lister. Welcome along to the Radio Legends podcast, episode 17 of the Radio Legends series here today. As you know, in this series, I chat to the icons of radio about their life in the radio industry and from the world of wireless, of course. But so let's meet today's contestant. From the South Coast, it's broadcasting legend, John Clothier. Hello, John. Welcome along today.
Hello, Ben. It's clothier, mate. No, everybody gets it
Clothier.
wrong, don't
Sorry.
I'm fine, thanks. And yourself?
Getting there, yeah. How's things down on the South Coast?
Well, I'm actually in Somerset. I'm not, although I work for South Coast Radio, I'm actually in Somerset, so I'm not that close to the coast. But as far as I know, seeing on the news tonight, it looked really nice.
Brilliant. We're here obviously to chat about your broadcast career, if that's okay.
No problem at all.
So let's go for it. Question one: where did you start your broadcast career?
I started my broadcast career in Yeovil District Hospital around about 26 or 7 years ago. And that's where it all kicked off and haven't stopped since.
That's good way, brilliant way to start your career. So yeah, we'll go on to question two now. Who were your inspirations when you were starting out? There's 6 questions, by the way.
Yeah, sure, no problem. My inspirations, well, I like the way Tony Blackburn sort of did his shows, and I suppose I sort of took a bit of his talent away from him. But I lived in Greece for 10 years in Corfu, and I changed my style there because I was the only English presenter in Greece at one point, and the Greeks like to have the music flowing. So it's not so much talking, it's more keep it going, and let the people listen to the music, but just sort of don't stop it, just keep it going all the time. And that's the way I sort of took my own way of broadcasting then.
Brilliant. And question 3 now. What is your favourite part about the job?
Well, it used to be my favourite part, not done so much now, was the road shows. I used to love being out there on a road show, meeting people, just getting involved, and having a great lot of fun. So I love doing like country shows and things like that when we were live on radio from the country show. That was just amazing. Nowadays, it's obviously due to COVID. Nowadays, it's more of you sat in the studio on your own, but that was probably the most enjoyable bit, and obviously meeting lots of famous people, interviewing.
We are starting to get back there.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're getting back there, but the problem I have at the moment, all my shows are done from, I have a home studio now. I've probably got a lot of other radio presenters did with the COVID. You got yourself sorted out and you stream it all from home, from studio. So that's what I do. So I don't really see too many people like I used to, with interviewing and things. I have done it with the phone, like we're doing now on the radio, but that's great fun, but most of the time I'm on my own.
Have you been back into the studio? Do you ever drop back in the studio?
Well, I'm too far away from the one in South Coast. I actually present for a station in Weymouth, which is not too far away from me. I haven't been there, not since COVID. No, I haven't been back. I just do it all from my home studio, purely because it just works out easier. I don't have to, of course, with the price of fuel nowadays, it's a lot cheaper for me to do it from home than it is to keep driving down to the studio and back every week.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's it for part 1 with John Clothier. Join me in a bit for part 2, but for now, back to the studio. That's it. Welcome back to part 2 of my interview with John Clothier. 3 more questions, if that's okay with you, John.
Yeah, you carry on, Ben. No problem at all.
Let's go for it. Question 4. What is your greatest radio moment?
Oh, I have so many, Ben. I really do have so many. Well, I thought about this today. My greatest moment, and I think the one I enjoyed the most and had more fun of out of anything, was the interview I did with uh, Trevor Peacock from the Vicar of Dibley. Can you remember? He did that. No, 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 no. Yes, that guy. He lived about 3 miles away from me here in Somerset, and we had him in the studio one night with a bottle of red wine. And the more he drank, the more he said, you know. But it was absolutely brilliant, and he had us in stitches. I mean, it was just it was hard work trying not to laugh all the time, but he was fantastic. Turned out to be a great friend in the end as well.
Brilliant. Is there anyone else famous you've interviewed?
Oh my gosh, yeah, loads. I did an interview with Boycie and Marlene from Only Fools and Horses. I've done Joe Burt, who was a bass player in Black Sabbath. Gary Shell, who was what was he? He was in Quadrophenia, and I just suddenly remember, can't remember who he played in there, but you can look it up. He was great. Robin Williams, who was in Man About the House, he did an interview with me, and he would afterwards, you know, for months after. Unfortunately, he passed away now, but for months afterwards, he would just ring up just to see if I was okay. He was a really nice man, very very good bloke. Yeah, loads. And there's a few more. I can't I remember them all now. I've been doing it like for a long time, you know.
Yeah, and there's also a person who I would love to interview one day who lives on the south coast, not very far from you. Des Lynam, the sports presenter, the TV and radio personality.
Des Lynam and I absolutely got hammered up in Birmingham many years ago. We were up there at a show, not nothing to do with music, it was to do with mobile phones actually. And we won a trip to the it was '99. We won a trip to the Atlanta Olympics, and it was like a game show. Des did all the ask the questions, and we answered them all right, fortunately. And we had a bit of a session with Des in the bar afterwards. And he's a really nice man, nice bloke.
Yeah, he lives not too far from Weymouth and Brighton. He lives Angermeering way.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't know that, but yeah, he's a really nice guy.
He lives between Brighton and Bournemouth, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, he likes a pint, I can tell you that.
Yeah, he's a good guy, I think.
Yeah, he certainly was. He was a really nice bloke. Yeah, real genuine, down to earth guy.
What did you did you see the famous Des Lynam mustache then?
Yes, yes, definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did.
Brilliant. And now we'll move on to question 5. How has COVID adapted? How has COVID changed the radio landscape?
I think that it's like I said. I think a lot of people, obviously, we couldn't get into studios when we were locked down. So probably like myself, a lot of radio presenters set up their own studios at home, which is what I done. Worked from home, streamed it into the radio station out across the world. So I think that's probably the biggest change in radio is there's not so many people actually in the studio, although it's getting back now. I know it is. And obviously there was no guesting, I think, in at the time. But now it's a lot of people. I think are still doing it from their home studios. But you know, radio, you don't never know where you are, do you? You know, it could be anywhere. It could be in the middle of in the sea on a boat and still do a broadcast.
Some of my friends do it from under the stairs. Do you do it? What part of the house do you do your broadcast from?
Actually got a studio built in a spare bedroom. I've got everything here, the mixer, the computers, the whole lot, so I actually do it from a proper little studio which we built, and yeah, it's working fine.
Yeah, brilliant. And my last question on the list is, what advice would you give to young, aspiring broadcasters who are starting out at the bottom of the broadcast ladder?
Well, I think the best way to do if you're going to get into broadcasting, you want to do it, is to start in hospital radio. That is really a good place to go to start with. There's lots of really good presenters in hospital and training officers, and I ended up as a training officer in Yeovil when I started there first. But that's the place to go. I mean, it's they help you along and get you all up to standard. Normally you can't get on air for a few weeks until you've had your training. I think Yeovil at the time when I started, they said that it was going to be 6 months before you can start broadcasting. Anyway, I think over 6 weeks and I had a show. It was that quick. But yeah, that's the best way to go. I mean, or unless you can get. I mean, obviously there's things into colleges now, and you can get it sort of what do they call it, job sort of experience things that you can get onto radio stations and do a little bit of co-broadcasting. But yeah, I think a good one is the like the hospitals and get into one of those.
Brilliant. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me today, John.
No problem at all, Ben. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. We are unfortunately out of time, so thank you to you people out there for joining me today. So please give it up one more time for Mr. John Clover.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you very much for watching and listening. This will be available in video form on my YouTube channel and my wix.com website in audio form, and as on a radio station and as a radio show on a station near you. Until next time, I'm sick of saying it now. That's a wrap. I'm back to the studio.